Hi guys, it's Lily,
And I'm Clover.
and you're listening to
All the tea we cannot sip.
this is a podcast of best friends. We want you to come sit with us, sip our tea.
Yeah, this is like all the stuff that we talk about on the phone anyway for hours. And I feel like we always feel like we don't have enough time. Do you agree?
We never do. We have talked for so many, like we could talk for 3 hours and I will still keep you on the phone at the end with three more things I did not say.
Exactly. So we were just thinking it's a new year. We wanted to try new things, and podcasts are fun. We love listening to them and we have a lot to talk about. So we thought, why not try it
Yes.
ourselves?
And Clover, why is it called All the Tea We Cannot Sip?
Well, we are both huge bookworms, and we both agree that one of the best books we have ever read is called All the Light We Cannot See. This
And
is like all the tea we don't have time for. Like, this is all the stuff we just have to talk about.
And that book is also by Anthony Doerr, Doerr. If you wanted to look it up, it is a Pulitzer Prize winner. So good. Just wanted to throw that in there.
Thank you. Yes, got to give him credit. And maybe we can post it on our social media after this as well.
Yes. So, Clover, 2022. What a year.
It was. It was quite a year. We're going to be posting this on the 1st of 2023, and that sounds really weird to say.
I know. How did it get to be 2023 when we were just little tykes
I know.
in 1998? You know, just,
What do you mean? We weren't
doing.
even born in 1998. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, we're very young, very
Very
Gen
young,
Z,
very beautiful, very rich.
very rich.
Hi everyone, this is Clover. Lily and I were editing this podcast and we realized we wanted to give a trigger warning for the subject of suicide. We do talk about celebrities who passed away this year in 2022, and the subject of suicide came up a few times. Please check our description box where we will be posting mental health and suicide prevention resources. Thank you.
So we just wanted to start by talking about how 2022 was. All the celebrities we lost and our predictions for the coming year, along with our own personal resolutions. And Lily here made a list of not all of the celebs, but the important ones.
Yes, important to us. You
Yes.
know, all of them were important to somebody, but I'm not going to sit here and act like I know everything about everyone. So this is just a list of, people that we are very familiar with. Let's start off with a big one for me, Aaron Carter.
Oh man, I was thinking about him yesterday. That was tough.
It was because Aaron Carter was so pivotal when I was a child. Like, yes, I loved NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, but Aaron Carter, I had an Aaron Carter poster above my bed until I was in like seventh grade. And
Oh
he was
yeah.
big when I was in fifth grade. So maybe even before that. But it really is sad because he struggled so much. And I feel like he never really got to live a life where he wasn't struggling. And that's really what makes it hard.
Mm-hmm. You're right. I was thinking about, our podcast and talking about this and which celebrity death affected me the most. And honestly, Aaron Carter didn't make me cry as much as Robbie Coltrane, for instance. But I feel like it did affect me the most because he was so young and he was such a big part of our childhood. I mean, I remember dancing in your bedroom to Aaron's party and I Want Candy. And we
I
were wrapping
know.
ourselves in a sweater, you know? He
Yes.
was,
Do
you feel like
you
what?
remember? I said, do you remember that one, the Aiko Aiko song?
Oh,
That it was like a cover, but Aaron Carter did it great.
he had his moment in the sun, and it's just really sad how many adults who should have been taking care of him instead took advantage of him, and he never recovered.
No, he really didn't. And I hope, his family and his, child find peace because that's so hard on everyone involved.
Mm-hmm. It is. There's really no way to privately grieve. And I agree. I really feel for his son in this situation and his fiance, even though they were having so many problems, they were trying to work them out when all of this happened. And I can't imagine, having a 1-year-old that who doesn't have a father anymore.
And you also brought up Robbie Coltrane. That was
That,
heartbreaking.
yes, that is the only celebrity death this year that made me cry. And
Yeah,
it,
uh, there were a lot of great people passed this year. I think I think Bob Saget was pretty sad too,
mm-hmm,
but Robbie Coltrane, because in the Harry Potter reunion on HBO Max, he even said, I won't be here forever, but Hagrid will.
exactly. That's what got me too. I was trying to find that quote. Um, but yeah, and it's true. And in a way, it's so sad because it's like he predicted his own future in a way, but also it was very realistic. Like he knew how many years and how much energy he put into the Harry Potter film franchise. And he even talked about how it affected his personal life. He didn't spend as much time with his kids as he did with these child actors. He watched, Daniel Radcliffe grow up more than his own children. And I'm sure that hurt his heart in a way, but also knowing that he will forever be a part of this. He is Hagrid, even if they remake it someday when we're older, I can't see anyone filling those shoes the same way.
No, because I remember being a kid and hoping Hagrid would come pick me up and take me to Hogwarts.
Right?
He was so great and he will be missed.
Mm-hmm. Rest in peace.
Barbara Walters died yesterday.
I know, did not see that coming. Didn't even know until
No,
you texted me. But I had no idea she was so old either.
I
93.
know.
That's a
Yeah,
good life.
that is a very long. You know, I'm very jaded, I think, sometimes in the fact where I can appreciate somebody living a long, good life. And it's not as sad as somebody like Aaron Carter, who, he was 34.
Yes.
That's not, it's not as sad because they have such a long legacy, Barbara does, and such a good life, I think. And,
Mm-hmm.
it's sad for the people that know her that won't be able to experience her. But also, look, I remember Barbara Walters on the TV when we were kids, and she looked
Yeah.
old then.
Yeah. And, I agree with you. The fact that she achieved so much and got to experience so much, it makes it a little easier to swallow. Like at least she had a good life and she really paved the way for so many female interviewers and broadcasters. It's really remarkable. And I was actually looking at a list of famous interviews she did, if you want to hear some. I forgot she
Yes,
interviewed Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton's mistress.
that was very, very big.
It was. I did not know she interviewed Fidel Castro in 1977. That's
That's
pretty amazing.
intense.
She went to
Yeah,
Cuba.
especially for a woman journalist,
Yes.
in the 70s.
Yes, sitting down with a dictator.
That,
What I remember about her interviews is I feel like a lot of journalism nowadays isn't necessarily unbiased, but what I remember about Barbara was she asked the important questions, but in a way that made the person she was interviewing feel comfortable enough to answer, like not put that wall up, which is a delicate thing to do.
it is because I, when you pose certain questions, I feel like a lot of people, not even in the media, just in general, they already have a bias that you can tell in that question.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so it's really important in media, especially media, that things are unbiased and we can come to our own conclusions about things.
I agree. That's how it should be. Like, give me the facts and let me make up my own mind. So, rest in peace, Barbara. Did I say rest in
Yes.
peace?
Rest in pieces, like Eminem would say. No, just kidding. Cut that.
We'll cut that. Rest in pieces, Barbara. Oh, which kind of brings us to the Queen.
Yes. The
Which Queen are we
Queen,
talking about there, Lily?
Queen Elizabeth,
Queen Elizabeth. And
the
the reason
great reigning
rest in
monarch.
pieces reminded me of that is did you ever see the TikToks after Queen Elizabeth died of like people in Ireland singing Lizzie's in a box,
No.
Lizzie's in a box. They were like celebrating, which, Ireland was under England's rule for a long time, and we know that they didn't have the best living conditions and all of that. But it's very interesting to see half of the world mourning Queen.
Exactly, because I like the royal family. I like reading about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to claim to know the politics of the UK,
Right.
because I don't. I have a pretty good grasp of the United States, but and a lot of people would celebrate any number of deaths in our government.
That's a very
So
good point. I hadn't thought of it
I'm
that way.
yeah, so I think because it is America and we're like free speech all the time, that a lot of people would be singing in the streets about
That's a good point. And, again, I don't know a bunch about British politics either. But a lot of the problems I hear people having with the British monarchy is how many historical artifacts they own and how much of their wealth was accumulated in uh, pretty archaic ways. Like, I remember reading years ago that Queen Elizabeth owned over 30 original Leonardo da Vinci pieces of artwork. And isn't it kind of crazy that one person can own like a huge chunk of history like that?
because I feel like if it were for sale somewhere, like if I went to an auction and there was it, it wouldn't be there. But I'm just saying that if I did, I would not be able to buy that because somebody would be like, that deserves to be in, a museum where people can enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. And I do
And
think that's the opinion of a lot of people. And now that she is dead and um, Charles is becoming king, there's a lot up in the air of will the British monarchy continue to be a part of society, like revered and respected? I guess time will tell. What do you think?
I think that's a very good point. I think that for a long time, Queen Elizabeth was a symbol, for the country because she had been queen for so long
Mm-hmm.
that I feel like things may change and people might not, revere the monarchy like they used to,
And
especially
will they
because,
continue to get funding from the public because they do get paid from the British government?
and King Charles is not as well liked as his mother was as
No,
queen.
no.
So time will tell, like you said.
Another thing we talked about was how soon she died after Prince Philip. And you have worked with elderly people in the past, and you know that that's pretty common. I
Oh,
really
yeah.
didn't think she would last a year, but she lasted a little over a year after he died.
And I think they had been married for so long. And I think,
Mm-hmm.
especially when I feel like any relationship, but when you are the queen and people, are under you, technically, it's hard to know who's really out for your best interest. And so you just want, someone that will always be your person. And
That's such a good point because they got together before she was queen, and she was never supposed to be queen. Nobody thought that was going to happen because her dad was never supposed to be king.
yep. And then she was the longest reigning monarch ever.
Yeah, in that country. Was she the longest reigning in the world or just in that country? I'm not sure.
Um, I would have to fact check, but I'm pretty sure it's in the world.
Wow. Pretty
Maybe I
pretty
think in the
crazy.
modern world, maybe, in the medieval days, there was
Yeah.
somebody that became king when they were
I don't know. They
a
didn't live that
child.
long back then.
Exactly. So I think I read something that she had been queen for like 8 to 12 US presidents that she met
Wow.
with.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And,
Well,
most presidents are between either 4 or 8 years.
mm-hmm.
And so
Wow.
12, yes.
Well, Lizzie's in
Hopefully
a
we all live.
box. Rest in peace.
Lizzie's in a box. Rest in peace in the
So,
box.
who, not to put bad karma out there, but what celebrities do you predict will lose in 2023?
Oh gosh. It's really up in the air. I I really don't know who's old. Who's old?
I
Who's
hate to say
because
it, but I think one might be Tim Curry. His health hasn't been good. Um,
oh,
from
he's
Rocky Horror and
great.
Home
Yes,
Alone.
Home Alone. Tim Curry. Because I guess
Yeah,
I don't know which celebs are not in great health right now.
right. Well,
Um,
I mean, not necessarily health. Like, look at Aaron Carter. I think Kanye is in danger, if I'm being honest,
yeah, that's
with the
true. And
reckless
look at
choices.
Leslie Jordan had a seizure and died in a car crash. That's
Right.
so sad.
So sad.
Oh,
That was another one that affected us pretty big because we love Leslie.
he was amazing,
Mm-hmm.
especially during the pandemic and quarantine. His videos still make me laugh.
You're so right.
Like, he's just hilarious.
So
I
funny.
loved him so much.
I loved
And
him in American Horror Story.
yes, and he was also in a Trixie Mattel music video for
Oh,
Mama Don't Make Me Put on the Dress Again. So
oh,
good. So love that. Especially if you know like about Leslie. I heard a little bit of Leslie talk about his past, and it's not for me to talk about how hard it was for him being a gay person at such a young age a long
well,
time
we can
ago.
acknowledge it though, because you're right. I can't imagine being gay when he was young.
Exactly. And he's just so full of life and so full of love, and he
Yes,
will be so missed.
yes,
But
yes.
I definitely think that if Kanye doesn't die from his choices, I'm not putting that energy in the world.
Right,
But like you
right,
said, Aaron Carter, those crazy choices have crazy consequences.
right. Like,
And
I I don't think Kanye does hard drugs. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that would have come out by now. And I think he's too narcissistic to kill himself. They say narcissists usually don't. They might attempt it for attention, but he probably wouldn't kill himself. But I could see him like driving crazy or something like that, trying to go
yeah.
stalk Kim, you know?
Oh gosh,
It's not
yes.
funny, but we have to laugh because it's so ridiculous.
It is. And we have known people like that in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not funny in real life either, but it's
No.
just as ridiculous when somebody is that mentally unstable.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we have both been mentally unstable and not like that. So I think there is, a point where you can acknowledge that somebody needs help, but they're not going to get help. And so you can talk about it.
Yeah, I agree. So Kanye, maybe Tim Curry. Again, we're not putting this energy out into the universe, but it's something to think about. Joe Biden. You know,
Oh, yeah.
not that
Which,
you and I don't get political or anything, and you guys don't even know how we vote or for
if
who,
we,
but
I
he's
mean, we
not
do
looking good.
vote. I mean, I'm not going to say if we vote because we do vote. Because that would be just as problematic as if we didn't vote.
Right?
Um,
But he's not looking good when I see him lately.
and when he talks, he sounds very confused. almost like
Yes. I'm
mixing
like,
up words, like
sit him
almost.
down in front of The Price is Right, give him a cookie, and let's get somebody else up there.
It is a country that needs to be ran, and there's a lot of things that need to be fixed. And
Yeah.
even the vice president, I think that she could do a good job in
Hmm.
the interim. But yes, let's let's put him. Let's get him some, soft foods. Sit him down, and maybe a
He's had a
dog
good
for
run.
some company. Yes, because that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Any
Yes.
other celeb death predictions or anyone else on your list you want to talk about?
I did want to bring up Sidney Poitier. He
Mm-hmm.
was the first African American to ever win an Academy Award, died this year.
I did not know that.
Yes, I wanted, to bring life that, is such I hate that it is such an amazing thing because
Right.
everyone should have the same, opportunities, but that's not the case. So the fact that he was the first African American man to wear in the Academy Awards is pretty amazing. Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, yes.
Grease was a very pivotal point of my
It
childhood.
was.
That was one of the first CDs I ever had was the Grease soundtrack.
Yes. And you know what? It still has lasting power. I still know kids today who love that movie.
Grease Lightning.
I always
Or
wanted to be a pink lady. Their jackets were so
no,
cool.
it. I know Frenchie. I wanted to be a beauty school dropout just so I could sing that
Yes.
song with cotton candy hair.
Before it was cool.
Yes,
What Grease character do you think you're most like?
Rizzo.
Rizzo, I can see
Yep.
that.
I mean, I want to say Sandy, but I know it's Rizzo.
Yeah. I feel like I'm the chubby girl who's always eating snacks and being funny at slumber parties.
I know. I know. What is her name? I can't remember
Right?
it off the top of my head, but
But hey, that's me too. A little forgettable. Oh, but yes, rest in peace,
oh,
Olivia.
but yes. And she was a guest judge on RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars too.
See, celebrities who are on that show automatically get extra points with me because that's just cool.
It
And it
is.
takes a cool person to put yourself out there like that.
Yes. Leslie Jordan was also a guest judge on one episode, or
Oh,
maybe two,
yes.
but one
Yeah, I
for
think it
sure.
was multiple.
Yeah. But
Can you imagine Rue standing next to Leslie?
oh my goodness. I read an article that said RuPaul was over 7 feet tall in full drag with hair and heels.
What?
Yeah, over 7 feet
Wow.
tall with hair and heels.
I believe it. Badass right there.
And
Oh,
the last one I wanted to bring up was Takeoff from the Migos. I like the Migos. If you've ever seen the carpool karaoke of them singing Sweet Caroline, it's so hilarious.
I have
Um,
never heard of them. Are they like an a
yeah,
cappella group or something?
no, it's a rap group with Offset, Cardi B's husband,
Oh,
and
so who
they're all
died?
related. Uh, Takeoff, that's his name. He is Offset's cousin, but on the ABC in like the memorial thing they just did, they listed him, but they put a picture of the other member of Migos.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I feel so bad.
That is
Uh,
bad. And now I feel bad that I didn't know who he was. So thank you.
which
Oh,
I, yeah. And Twitch from Ellen, he sadly took his own life.
I did see that. Oh,
Very sad. Which
very
goes to show
sad.
you that you never know what somebody's going through on the inside. So reach out to the people in your lives
Right. It's so
because it's
true.
important. Because
Um,
people in that mindset are not going to reach out. It's going to be too late. Um,
no.
and it's nobody's fault ever. You can
No,
never blame yourself if somebody you're close to has taken their, or attempted to. It just, it's sad. And make sure the people around you know that you love them and they are loved. Um,
I
and that's
totally
all I have
agree.
to say about that.
And, sometimes when people are contemplating suicide and then they move into actually having a plan, they will be happier. You might think their mood is better, and you might think, oh, well, they got over that hump that they were going through. But just know, if you're listening, that that is a sign, and don't use that as an excuse not to reach out. And that actually reminds me, this like the second biggest celebrity death that really got me this year was Jason David Frank. He was the one of the original Power Rangers, and honestly one of my first childhood crushes. And he took his own life at 49 recently, a couple days after his wife and him decided to split up, which is really sad. Um, Gosh, I thought he was the cutest thing when we were growing up, and he still looked good. Like he was still very into martial arts, and I think he was a professional fighter even, and he still had so many fans, but none of that matters when someone is going through something so tough.
So, speaking
Oh,
of, celebrities that we have lost, which celebrities that has died has been your biggest, has affected you the most out of any celebrity?
so not just this year, out of
Not
any
just this
celebrity.
year, just any
Oh
year. Yeah.
gosh, that's a good one. I would have to think about that. What's yours?
Um, I definitely think Robin Williams is up there.
Oh, yes.
He's so funny, you know, so caring. We grew up with his movies from Aladdin, Mrs. Doubtfire, Patch Adams, my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my actual favorite movie, What Dreams May Come, with Robin Williams. That's ironically about a man. His wife takes his own life or her life, and
Oh,
he has to go save her from hell or purgatory.
mm-hmm.
I mean, fact check me. I haven't seen the movie in a long time, but I love it. Uh, but yeah, and also another one at the time, Ryan Ryan Dunn from Jackass.
Oh gosh, yes, that was really hard.
Around the time he died, I had just turned 21. I would get drunk. I would come home from the bar, eat my Taco Bell and cry because Jackass would be on at 2 in the morning and Ryan Dunn was
Mm,
dead. Um, because we grew up with Jackass too. It's just
mm-hmm.
one of those things. Um, I have become a little less emotional over the years. I don't cry
Mm-hmm.
after the initial, reaction of somebody dying usually,
Mm-hmm.
at least a celebrity. But that one, it did hit me pretty hard.
I agree with those. Yeah, Robin Williams is a big one. And now that I'm thinking about it more, someone whose death really affected me was Amy Winehouse. I always liked her music, but I really got into her like in my college years, and she would always be my go-to for karaoke. And um, she was just someone who I felt like was a true artist, very talented, but with such a lost soul. And I'll never forget this YouTube video I saw where a fan had waited outside her flat in England for so long to meet Amy. And Amy came out and said, "Hey, do you want to come up?" Like invited the fan up, which scary now that you think about it because you don't know who that person is. But the fan was like too shy and said no. And you could tell that Amy just looked so sad and rejected. And in that moment, I just saw her loneliness, like
Yeah.
how much she just wanted company. So rest in peace, Amy.
Yeah. So many, you know, I think another one that hit me hard was Corey Monteith from
Yeah.
Glee.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, would definitely rewatch the quarterback episode of Glee and just cry. It's just so
Yes.
sad. He was so talented, and like so
Hmm.
many people, couldn't kick the addictions,
And
and it's hard.
especially knowing that his fame gave him more ability to fuel that addiction, That's what makes it so
Yeah,
sad to me. Like, would
it
he
is
still be alive if he had never been on Glee? I don't know.
very true. Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about our top beauty products and wellness products of 2022. All right, and we're back. Clover, what were your favorite beauty products or wellness products that you tried this year?
Ooh, we're starting with me. Okay. Well, the biggest one that I added to my regimen this year, thanks to TikTok, was I started slugging. Have you heard of that?
Mm, is that with Vaseline?
Yes. So, a lot of people think that Vaseline is a moisturizer, but actually, what it does is it seals in any moisture you already put on. So, a lot of people have started washing their face, toning, putting on their serums and moisturizers, and then slathering their face or their elbows or whatever in Vaseline. But it doesn't actually clog your pores. That's a common misconception. But from what I saw, as long as your skin is clean when you put it on, all it does is just lock all that good stuff in. And doctors even give it to people post surgery to help wounds heal and stuff like that because it creates this protective barrier. So I've been using, it's called Bag Balm, Bagbalm. It's made in Vermont and it's like a petroleum jelly that has some other things added. It smells really nice, but it doesn't clog my pores. And my winter skin has never been as good as it has been this year. And I think it's just because I put my moisturizer on and then I put my Vaseline over it and it's just not dry and flaky. So that is my number one tip of this year. What's one of yours?
I was just gonna say I might try that, not on my face because I'm kind of sensitive to textures.
Yeah.
Most things gross me out, but the
Hmm.
back of my heels have been really, really dry and flaky. So I might put some like lotion, like moisturizing lotion, and then some Vaseline on the back of my heels.
Yes. Do it
Uh,
before you go to sleep. Put some like soft socks on over it, and your feet will be so soft when you wake up.
oh, that is good to know. I'm excited to try that.
Yay.
Speaking of textures, the thing that I tried this year, which I know I'm very late to the trend, was the NYX Marshmallow Primer. The
Oh,
consistency is so nice because it is thicker, not quite like fluff, marshmallow fluff, but it is thicker like marshmallow. Um, because especially in the last couple years, I've gotten really icked out by textures on my face that if it's not the right texture, I don't want it on my face. I got this uh, moisturizer from Walmart because the Jeffree Star Cosmetics, as much as I stand Jeffree, the Jeffree Star Cosmetics skincare did not work for me. Um, so I got a cheap thing to hold me over. The consistency is so gross. I
mm.
cannot. So the NYX Marshmallow Primer, the consistency is great. Love
Ooh, I
it.
have not heard of that. So do you feel like it fills in your pores? Because that's my biggest thing when I put on foundation is I feel like you can see all the pores on my nose.
Yes, especially because I don't have big pores
Mm-hmm.
um on the rest of my face, but I do on my nose. It does help blur kind of, I think it's similar to the Smashbox blurring primer. It's just a little
Okay.
bit thicker. Um
Does it smell
and
like
yeah,
marshmallows?
uh it does have a faint sweet scent, but it's not too fragrance, which I do like because fragrance can be drying.
Yeah.
What did other things have you tried recently?
My second pick for this year would be anything with Cica in it, Cica. It's an herb found in some parts of Africa and Asia, and I get red. I do get rosacea, especially when the weather's really hot or really cold. And this Sika emulsion moisturizer I got online is the only moisturizer I've ever used that doesn't break me out at all. And it really helps with the redness. It feels so light and gentle. And I am a big anything with Sika. Look it up,
That,
find it. It's great, especially for redness, which is my biggest
well,
problem.
I'm glad to hear that because I do get red in the face easily.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Especially like you said with the cold, the wind here has been no joke, chapping
Mm-hmm.
my face. Um, so especially good moisturizer, chef's kiss, love it. My second favorite, it's something I've used on and off for quite a few years. Um, the Lush Scrub Bee. It
Mm-hmm.
smells so good. I love the smell. It has exfoliating, it has coconut shell in it, exfoliating, and almond shell, I
Oh.
do believe. Um, I love how it
Does it have
smells.
some coffee grounds in it too?
I think it used to have coffee grounds and then they switched it to shells.
Oh, that's
I just looked
interesting.
I just looked up the ingredients for it the other day because I was curious because I was telling my husband about it because every time I get out of the shower, I'm like, smell this, smell me, because I love how it smells. It feels so good. It is, it's like an after, it's not soap, so still wash your nasty selves. It
Mm-hmm.
is like a body conditioner. It
Mm.
feels so good. It smells so good. I get, especially on my arms, I have a couple tattoos. They tend to like get really flaky in the winter,
Mm-hmm.
um, especially because I take really hot showers also.
Mm-hmm.
It really helps with that. And the smell. Oh, I love the smell. I like a lot of Lush products, but the Scrub Bee is my favorite.
That sounds amazing and it sounds nice and moisturizing too. But my final recommendation is the Trader Joe's Microdermabrasion Scrub. It's in a white tube with blue writing. If you're looking for it, you'll probably walk right past it. It's less than $10, and I have used microdermabrasion scrubs that were 6 times as much money, and it works exactly the same. The exfoliant is very fine, so you get a really good um, scrub off of it. A lot of dead skin comes off. I only use it about once a week because it's so intense, but I love it. I'm on my third bottle.
I actually have that. I haven't used it, which, and if it's from Trader Joe's, it's going to be good. Because remember when we were young teenagers, the St. Ives apricot scrub?
Oh my
I used
God.
that as a
Yes.
teenager, and those are actually like plastic beads that are terrible for the environment.
Mm-hmm. And even the ones that are shells, it's way too rough for your face. I used to work with estheticians and they said never use that. They showed me some close-ups under a microscope of skin after using the apricot scrub, and it literally like puts tiny cuts in your skin. It will
Oh,
feel soft afterwards, but that's why you have to keep using it because it's damaging your skin and then your skin is having to repair itself and then you feel like you need to do it again.
yeah. Oh, just thinking of those little cuts. Oh,
Oh,
because oh,
I know. Like, how long did we fuck up our faces?
I
Thinking
know.
we were
Well,
doing
we were
something.
young. Yeah, thinking we were doing something. But my last favorite product that I have been using, I have also used this on and off for a couple years, but I just bought some new Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I
Mm,
try other kinds I have gotten other kinds from Ulta, that are comparable in price, and nothing is as good as the packaging, the brush, the formula. It just feels good because I work in healthcare. I'm not going to wear fake eyelashes to work.
Right.
Um, but it gives, enough of a lift, enough of a definition to where I feel good about how I look. I love it. I just got the 2 pack that Ulta sells around the holidays for like, two full size tubes. I think it was 32 or $36, um, which is a discount because it is $25 regularly. So I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm set for 6 months, because I have some other mascara that I got, something Urban Decay, but I do not like the wand. It's terrible. I thought I was doing something by trying something new because I love trying new products all the time. I always try new foundations. When I just feel like even if I like something, I want to try something else because
I'm the exact same way. Like, even if I found something that works really well, I will still probably grab something different the next time because what if it's better?
I know exactly. So I want everyone out there to try something different next time. If you're gonna go, it doesn't matter if it's at Walmart, Target, Ulta, Sephora, even just try something different because I have found so many great products. Really, I hate wasting money, but also I'm at a point in my life where I'm not going to be unhappy using something just because I
No,
have it.
especially when it comes to our skin, because as we know from Jeffree Star's skincare line, which we stand Jeffrey here, but we're both pretty pissed about his skincare, it messed up our skin for weeks.
Yeah, and I have sensitive skin to the elements. I get sun damage really easy. I get wind damage very easy. But when it comes to products, my skin is not sensitive.
No.
I could put on a full face of Trixie, inspired makeup, and my face would be okay for like. I don't know how her face is okay because that's a lot of makeup every day. But I've also seen her skincare routine is on point. Um, I just sometimes my skincare is better than others, but I don't
Hmm.
have sensitive skin. And this was the Jeffree Star strawberry one. I don't know um about the others, but I'm not going to spend my money on them.
Right. Because you bought like the full set as soon as it came out, and you were so excited, and I was excited to hear how it went, and it didn't work for you. So then I tried it, and same results. And you and I do have different skin, and we use different products, but we both had such a bad reaction. I've never been so broken out from skincare as I was from the strawberry line from Jeffree Star.
And I took it on my cruise.
Yes.
I was
Oh,
so mad because I was like, oh, it's cute. I can put it all together in my Jeffree Star makeup bag. It'll look cute on the counter. And it did look cute on the counter. Um, but it was just so disappointing.
oh, well, we learned. So those were our top beauty products of 2022. I'm excited to see what we try next year, and hopefully we won't waste too much money.
Too much is the key word. But my favorite Jeffree Star product is the highlighter in Peach Goddess. Love it.
Mm,
Even though I'm pretty sure highlighter is dying as a trend or it has been dying, I don't care. I do what I want. But since we're done with that, what trends do you think are dying in 2023? Or do you think we'll make a comeback in 2023?
funny you should ask. I actually made a list of in or out in 2023. So how about I go down the list and we can both say, do we think it's going to be in or going to be out?
Okay.
All right, number one, crop tops.
I hope they're going to be out.
I do too. I'm tired of
I
paying full price for half a shirt.
I know. And I have always had big, big hips. Even when I was a size 0, had
Hmm.
big hips. At my current size, have big hips. My hips do not need to be out.
I agree. So out with crop tops. Number two, glitter.
Oh, glitter never dies.
Yeah, that's the only acceptable answer. Glitter will always be in. Exotic pets.
I think they should be out. Um, I do want a lemur or like, or like, actually, I want a marmoset is what I want. they are illegal in the state I live in, so I will not get one. They are illegal in most states except Oklahoma, which is where Exotic Joe's from. Not living there.
Yeah, you can own any animal in Oklahoma. Sorry, Oklahomans. But yeah, I agree with you. I think exotic pets should be out, but I think they're actually going to be in. I've seen more people on TikTok with all kinds of different pets, and I think it's making other people want to try it themselves. So we'll
I
see.
saw a TikTok of a lady walking a baby tiger, like a Bengal tiger,
That
in a
pisses me
mall.
off.
I know, on a leash like a dog or, but in a mall. Like, I don't think most people are equipped to own ferocious animals.
No,
Dogs, cats, over centuries have been domesticated. It's going to take
true.
centuries to domesticate these other animals if that's what people want to do. I don't think that they should.
I know. I mean, there's a deep part of my heart that has wanted a pet raccoon for decades. But I also know, like, it's not meant to be a pet. It's not meant to eat whatever I'm feeding it and live inside. As cute as it would be my little
Yeah.
buddy, but
And that's how I feel about a marmoset because they're little monkeys.
oh,
Um,
ew.
but
Sorry, I hate monkeys. I have no idea what a marmoset is. I'm gonna have to Google it and I'll
it's
describe it to our listeners because maybe you don't know what it is either. I was imagining like a chinchilla.
me and my husband were actually talking about getting a chinchilla.
That would be so cute. See, and chinchillas have been domesticated for long enough that I don't feel bad. Okay, so this marmoset, it has like a little monkey face, and then it has this long white hair on the side that kind of looks like feathers coming out of its ears. It has much longer hair than I was expecting. But yeah, it looks like a really fuzzy, kind of angry monkey.
And they're little.
Yeah, but don't you think it'll get into all your shit?
Yeah, which I definitely am not going to get a marmoset, but we might get a chinchilla because
That would be so cute. Chinchillas are so soft, and their ears,
I,
they look like Furbies.
I know, so sweet.
All right, so we'll
Uh,
see if exotic pets are in or out. What do you think, British monarchy in or out in 2023?
I
You
think
know,
with King Charles, it's going to be out.
I was going to add King Charles to our list of celebrities who might die in 2023. I don't know the last time you saw a picture of him, but he's not looking good. And his
He's old
hands
too.
are so swollen. His fingers look like hot dogs.
That's sad. That could be a sign of a congestive heart failure.
Right? So it could be British monarchy could be out. But I do think if King Charles dies and Prince William becomes king, then the British monarchy will be back in because people love him. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I think you're right. I think people love William and Kate. They
Mm-hmm.
do not like Charles.
Yep.
So we will see.
Thin eyebrows, in or out.
How soon are we talking?
Like 90s.
Out.
See, I think they're going to be in. I think people want something different. We've had big eyebrows for almost a decade now. And I think I've seen some models like Bella Hadid and who else have been rocking the thin eyebrows lately. So I think it might be in. I'm not gonna go
Uh,
plucking mine more. Mine are already thin from the 90s, but
exactly.
maybe it's my time to shine.
I know because I was going to say, I know people whose eyebrows never got back in style when thicker eyebrows became in style because they had overplucked so much.
Yep. And it just stops growing back after a while. Why aren't
But you
our
know
legs like
what?
that? I've been shaving for decades and it still keeps growing. It's bullshit.
Because we're not plucking out our leg hairs.
So maybe if we wax enough. Ugh.
Yeah. But you know what? When I did go to Lush recently, the uh, the lady that worked there, her eyebrows were super, super thin. So maybe they are coming back, but I will not be on that train.
We'll have to go back next year and watch this podcast again and see what we were right about. Harry
Yes.
Styles, in or out?
Harry will always be in.
Yeah, I mean, he's only getting more popular. I don't see him going out next year.
Oh, I was going to say not next year. I don't think Harry will be out. I think in 5 years he will be, but not 2023.
I
I think
bet
he's
you're
going to be
right.
like Justin Timberlake.
I bet you're right.
Like Justin Timberlake left NSYNC, Harry left the One Direction. I'm a big fan of both. I love NSYNC and One Direction,
hmm
but Justin Timberlake kind of fizzled out eventually, and I think Harry Styles will do the same.
Yeah. Air fryers, in or out?
Um, I think out.
I think so too. I think everybody bought one. Everybody's cooking with them on TikTok, but I don't think it's the next big thing. I kind of think people are going to head towards more home cooking, honestly, if
And I
only
think
to relax.
Instapots are out.
You think what?
Instapots are out, like those,
Oh God, yes.
and they're very dangerous.
They are. I'm
It
not
is a
trying to blow
pressure
up my
cooker.
kitchen.
Me neither. I'm not trying to fix anything because I'm not handy.
Exactly. And don't comment and tell us how easy it is. I'm sure it is for you, but I forget stuff. You know,
Oh yeah,
I will forget to release that valve and blow my kitchen up. So,
yeah. That's why every time I cook something, it's usually in the toaster oven. And also, I tell Siri, I say Siri timer. And
smart. Go ahead.
okay, I have one for you. Ballet flats in or out in 2023.
Ooh, you know what? I think they should be out. They are terrible for your feet and they end up stinking so bad, but I think they're going to be in.
As a tall woman, I love ballet flats.
hmm
I still have some, and I still wear them sometimes. So I've just been waiting for my time to shine for them to come back. They do
That's
make your feet stink very bad. They
that's
are
a
not
good
good for
one.
your feet, but I went to the podiatrist and he told me it's better to wear something than nothing because
Very
I love
true.
being barefoot. Um, so he said, I don't care. This was back when Toms were big, so this might be outdated information, but he said, I'd rather you wear Toms than be
He
barefoot.
knows what he's talking about, I'm sure. And I think you're right. I think ballet flats are going to come back. So we will see.
Yeah.
Psychics in or out in 2023.
Oh, I'm undecided on this one. I like to believe there's something that, but I also know that a lot of people don't, and I also believe there are a lot of fakes. So
hmm
I think out.
I think they're actually going to be more in. I've seen more people on TV and on TikTok, YouTube trying it. I've seen more
Oh,
lives with psychics doing tarot cards or angel readings, and I think you're right. There will be more fakes, but I think more people are becoming open to it, and more people are just yearning for a higher purpose and searching for answers. So don't get scammed, people.
yeah. I mean, I will watch TikToks and I will do my own tarot readings
hmm
because I believe in the universe it may be trying to tell me something. I don't know. I'm not paying real money for
I
somebody to tell
agree.
me something
hmm
because there's so many free resources out there, or buy your own deck of tarot cards. You can get cheap ones on Amazon. I do recommend you go to your closest metaphysical shop and support a small business. I know in the city I live in, I frequent my crystal store. I love it. And you're supporting, not Bezos.
That's such a good point, and I totally agree because we're into that stuff, but we're not trying to make a living off of it, and we're not trying to take money from people for any tarot card readings or anything we do. So, oh man, I have one more, and we kind of touched on it with shoes, but Crocs in or out?
I hope they're out.
Me too.
I I work in healthcare. Lots of people wear them. They may be comfortable, but if I ever drop a needle, it's gonna stab me right in the toe. At least
Right?
with some, or spill urine, blood, feces, it's gonna be right on your foot.
I
So gross.
agree.
If you have to run for an emergency, I hope they're in sport mode.
They
Like,
they got very popular in 2022, but I do think they're on their way out.
and they were popular like 10 years ago in like 2010 because I have a pair of Croc shoes that are actual Croc brand tennis shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't look like Crocs. They look like Vans almost.
Mm-hmm.
But they're comfortable. But Vans, I think they're a danger. They're a danger to you. They're a danger to me. They offend me. I
They're a
don't
danger
like
to
them.
fashion.
They're a danger to fashion.
Don't even get me
Exactly.
started on all the gems and charms you can stick into them nowadays.
It is like Skylanders. It is just a marketing ploy to get you to buy more stuff.
It is. And it's just going to
And
end
I
up in a
love
landfill.
Skylanders. I love Skylanders. Still have a bunch of them, but it was just a ploy to get more money, and that's what
Oh.
Crocs are doing with gems and charms. I have another one for you: leg warmers.
Ooh. I do feel like 80s and 90s fashion, especially with the younger generation right now, is popular again.
Because I have read, people that I know on Facebook posting about leg warmers coming back in fashion, and also I have read articles about leg warmers. I haven't
Hmm.
actually seen anyone wear them though. So stay tuned because some people say yes. I've never seen it. Yeah. And one thing I think that will definitely be out in 2023 is Twitter.
Yes.
I think with, the Twitter blue, people paying for the verified check mark, it be it's it makes like, the eliteness of actually being verified obsolete, and then anyone can make themselves feel important by being Twitter verified by paying $8 a month.
Well, and Elon Musk just doesn't know what the hell he's doing right now because they had the Twitter Blue where you could pay for it, and then they got rid of it, and then they brought it back for people who had already paid. Yeah, he's just gonna
Exactly.
run it into the ground, I'm sure.
And well, I think they took it away because the first day it opened, I read an article about some, random college kid paid for it, changed his name to Barstool Sports, and made up,
Oh.
a trolling post basically. And people
Mm-hmm.
thought it was real because he was verified and his
Mm-hmm.
name was Barstool Sports.
Yeah,
And
there were
he just
multiple instances like that. Even I lost track of how many people were verified as Elon Musk.
exactly.
Yeah, we'll
And
see. But I agree with that. Twitter's probably on the way out, and I'm sure some other platform is going to become popular. I always
yeah,
try to
or
see what the kids are using, because
I
then I know we'll be using it in 4 years.
exactly. I know it has been Instagram in the past and TikTok. I think it is currently. I don't know what's more popular to
Hmm.
the kids than TikTok.
Snapchat, a lot of people still use that.
Oh, yeah.
I know. We're a little past the Snapchat days, huh?
And I did use Snapchat like
Hmm.
7 years ago. Like,
Right.
and as much as I love Shane Dawson, he's on Snapchat. And I'm like, I'm not
Mm.
getting on Snapchat just to watch his. So
Hmm.
I'll just wait for whatever, YouTube shorts or,
Yep.
or his actual videos because, you know, I'm already addicted to a lot of apps. I don't need another
Right.
one. And I'm not going to be addicted to Snapchat. It's just been there, done that.
Yep. I agree. So maybe we'll add Snapchat to that out list too. Well, I think those are pretty good in or outs for 2023. Another thing where we're trying to predict is how many kids will Nick Cannon have in 2023? Because he had how many in 2022?
He had five. I
Wow.
just read yesterday that he just welcomed his fifth child of 2022. Yes, in the last week or so. So he had five
Wow.
this year. Um, I think that he is going to have four kids, but by three women. Whether it's whether it's twins or yeah, it has to be twins. You can't be pregnant. Have two babies in a year
You
from the same
maybe.
woman. Unless one's already pregnant, he gets
Right.
another one he gets it, one of the ones that, because I know that he has pregnant women right now. So
Mm-hmm.
unless they have babies very soon and then get pregnant again, I think he's gonna have four, but he is known to have twins. So I think he'll have four, but with three women.
Good prediction. I'm guessing three just because he had so many kids this year. I'm assuming those moms are going to be so busy taking care of their babies that maybe they'll actually tell him no. But he might get other girlfriends too. So I guess we'll see. I feel like we can do a whole podcast episode on Nick Cannon's craziest, but there's our predictions for that.
I was gonna say we talk about Nick Cannon and his ongoing reproduction a lot.
We do. If you're listening and you would like a an episode about Nick Cannon and his sexcapades, let us know.
Yeah, because
But
we can.
what goals do you have as personal resolutions for 2023?
I want to read 24 books this year.
Love
I want to read
that.
2 books a month.
Mm-hmm.
I do get book of the month. Some months I skip because I'm not that interested, but I have some backlog of book of the month that I never read.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I want to learn how to do a good winged eyeliner
There
because
you
I don't
go.
know. um, yeah, I'm a mature lady. I could be more mature, but I'm not. Don't know how to do a winged eyeliner, and I just need to get over my fear of liquid eyeliner. And I would
Yeah.
love to know how.
I think that would look good on you too.
Yeah, I definitely would like to do a winged eyeliner. What are your goals?
Um, I feel like I have a lot of exciting stuff happening in the next year, but my personal goals, I would love to write 2 books. I think that's very doable, if I buckle down and really work at it. I would like to it's not even about losing weight. I just want to get more exercise. I started walking at my lunch break at work every day, and I've just noticed such a difference in my mood and how I feel. So I want to step up my exercise a little more. Um, Other than that, just travel, have new experiences with friends and family. I'm really excited for our podcast and to see where that goes and be consistent with that. But I think it's going to be a good year.
And since we are all the tea we cannot sip, based on the book All the Light We Cannot See, are you reading anything right now?
I've been pretty bad this month, been so busy that I've started like 3 or 4 books this month and have not finished any of them.
What have you started though? What?
I started The Christmas Pig by J.K. Rowling. Um, and it's okay so far, but obviously I didn't finish. I have been listening to The Lord of the Rings on audiobook, but I listen to it as I fall asleep. So I've been at chapter 3 for a couple weeks now. What else did I start? I've been reading the first Harry Potter to my family, and I've been enjoying rereading that. I don't know. What about you?
I have been reading. It is an old book of the month that I did not read when I got it, but it is called The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. I have read
Ooh,
other books by her.
yes, me
Um,
too.
I like it because it's set in present day and it's set in the 60s. I like what Book of the Month calls non-linear timelines. I think it's a fun way to go back and forth. And I'm also reading The Circus Train. It was part of December's Book of the Month. If you wanted to look that up, it is I think what they classify as a military historical fiction. So I'm excited to get into that.
That
And
sounds good. I like historical fiction.
me too. All the Light We Cannot See
True.
is
Yeah.
historical fiction. But yeah, I really want to, step up my game and get off my phone more and just read more. So my goal is 24 books, 2 a month for 2023. And I think I'm going to use the Goodreads app to track my progress.
Yes, that's what I do. And that was actually my goal this year was to read 24 books. And I think I read 27. And some of them were kids' books that I needed to read for work. But I agree. I want to unplug more. I want to do more art. I want to read more books. I want to go on more hikes and just be more present in 2023.
Yes, me too. Starting a new job this week
Yes.
after the new year. I'm excited for that. I want to, take in all the information that I'm learning and just be more present in my job, in my life, with my husband and my child. But I'm very
Yes.
thankful for 2022. I got to do some amazing things this year that um, I'm very thankful for, and I'm excited for the new year.
That's awesome. I'm excited too. I'm excited to hear about your job next week and to make our next podcast. So, we just wanted to thank you guys. If you got this far, listening this far, you are listening to our very first podcast. And maybe a few years from now, you can say you were one of our OG listeners and one of our OG fans.
I'm very excited to be making this podcast. For so long, I thought people don't care what I have to say. And you know what? I think we're fun people, and I think we have a lot to talk about. Um, we can see if our predictions come true. We can make new predictions. We can give off more advice as to what products we like. I think we're good at that. We both try a lot of products.
Hmm.
And thank you for listening.
Yes. That's what I'm excited for too, is getting to spend more time with my best friend talking about the things that we always talk about, but also sharing them with other people. I really hope that people listen to us and feel a little bit less alone. But thank you
Yes,
for listening to us. We will be posting again next week. Be sure to follow us on our socials. We will link those as well. And in a field full of roses, be a wildflower.
yes. Join us next time for all the tea we can.